Early in the morning, WSM. This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
From the Country Music Living Room, that's how I like to refer to our place. We sit here, this is glorious every day to start your day in Roy Acuff's living room, the house he lived in the last years of his life, 1984 to 1992 when he passed. Mm-hmm. And that's where we do the show, right here. It's the Simply Superior Springer Mountain Farms Acuff House studio, sits on the Grand Ole Opry Plaza. And there where you go, you're seeing something about 100, because I know we don't look it, but we will be officially 100. October for WSM, November for the Grand Ole Opry. We're celebrating all year long, and a lot of people have already come to be a part of it. Others are coming back. Maybe you need to make plans to come, and you can do that based on the schedule at the Opry at Opry100.com. Matter of fact, those Opry 100 shows, you've got one tonight, Charlie.
I do. Opry stars Daly and Vincent, along with Stephen Curtis Chapman, will be there. And the special guests include both Michael Ray and Breland, who are coming to see us this morning, which is really great. The Cody Norris Show, Morgan Wade, Connor Smith, and a funny man, Killer Bees, will be at the Opry tonight.
And Breland will be here in just a few minutes. He's in the 8 o'clock hour, Michael in the 9 o'clock hour. And it's also National Cheesecake Day.
Oh, man.
Where did we get the cheesecake? Where did it originate? It's ancient.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Greece. Seems like a good guess.
Yes.
Well, I think ancient, I think Greece. I don't know why. Although I don't think cheesecake being Greek. That's kind of funny that I got the answer right.
We don't say ancient New York, which is where a lot of people say, oh, it must have been in New York.
Could we just stop today and ask me no more questions? I like being one for one. I hardly ever get things right.
You nailed it, man. I'll give you details coming up. Cheesecake on Coffee, Country, and Cody. Get you a slice. Get you a honk.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Welcome to our friend Breland. It is good to see that smiling face again, man. It's been a while.
I know, it's been a while. I didn't realize that y'all had changed locations, new studio, all of this. I went to the old spot.
Oh, so you've gotten your steps in this morning.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You said, and then you consulted your calendar.
Yes.
And there it was. Don't go to the hotel, go to the Acuff House on the Opry Plaza.
Absolutely not.
But you passed the artist entrance on the way in, and something you're familiar with because back in 2021, you made your Grand Ole Opry debut, and you're there tonight for how many times now?
I think it's 10. I don't know. I think it's 10, but I might also be including like Opry Christmas, so I don't know if that will count.
So what do we get for 10, Charlie? An Opry dog, a popcorn?
There is a gift. I don't want to spoil, the surprise if this is number 10.
Yeah. And if this isn't number 10, it's number 9 for sure.
Then the next time.
Yeah, it would be the next time.
So what do you remember about that night? I mean, my truck blew up in 2019, which is hard to believe. That's been 6 years ago.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, the announcer, for sure, was superb, I thought that.
Exemplary. I mean, honestly, there was so much going on just in my life at the time, and I knew that, the Opry represented kind of the birthplace of country music, that really no one has been successful in this genre for 60, 70, 90 years, without performing here and paying their dues and connecting with that crowd. And I was definitely nervous, and I don't get nervous on stages very often because I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing. But I think just kind of the weight of the history of the place, definitely I could feel that coming in, and I still feel that coming in. I still get those little pre-performance jitters, like, what if I forget the words? Now they do have a teleprompter back there, which makes things a little easier. But yeah, that night I was so nervous. I came running out onto the stage, which now I do every time I run out onto the stage and get in the circle and get comfortable. But yeah, I think the Opry is such a unique experience. Like anytime people are visiting Nashville and they're like, "What should I do?" And I'm coming to Nashville for the first time. I'm like, everyone's going to tell you to go to Broadway. Everyone's going to tell you to get some, fried chicken or hot chicken. But you got to go check out the Opry, especially if you want to know about why this is called Music City. This is such a big piece of that puzzle. And to be a small part in that story as an artist myself is really powerful.
Coming from a musical family, when did country music become apparent to you? Because you grew up in the D.C. area, right?
I grew up in Jersey, and then I went to school in D.C.
Okay,
so
Georgetown. Right?
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, for me, it was more so kind of throughout college when I was starting to get more serious about writing songs and realized that there might be some opportunities for me on the songwriting side. That's when I really fell in love with country music, because I was like, these songs are so clever. They're really smart, just the way that there's a special way that country songs are written where it's kind of almost mathematical in a way, where like you set it up in the verse and then the chorus comes around and then you land the chorus with the big punchline and you're like, that's what they meant the whole time, and it's like that kind of writing, it takes a really clever and thoughtful songwriter to be able to create. And so I think that was what I was really drawn to, was just like, wow, these are some really great stories. And I'm finding better stories in country music than I am in a lot of other genres, even as someone that likes to blend the genres together. But I grew up on a lot of gospel music, and there obviously is some overlap in the Venn diagrams of country music and gospel music as far as, shared values. But yeah, I think for me, I started getting into it more as a songwriter.
The cool part about that debut night, too, was we were not going to be able to continue the show until BRELAND came back out and went in the circle and gave one more wave to everybody, because that's only happened to me 3 or 4 times with a lot of the debuts and we've done a lot of debuts collectively, but it happened with Oliver Anthony, it happened with Corinne Leon, and it happened with you, and it doesn't happen very often where they just won't let you go on until somebody comes back out one more time.
It happened with me. I remember Molly Tuttle comes to mind. She made her debut.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's some incredible company to be in. Absolutely.
So you mentioned your family, gospel music was your background. So when were you first on stage?
I definitely had sung.
Was that the set? Was it with your family?
Yeah, my parents put together a gospel album when I was a kid, and it was like a live recording. So they basically recorded the whole project live at our church, with an audience congregation. And I had a song on that album. I was 10. And so like, here's our son. And I came out and like sang a little bit. And that was kind of my first real memory of being on stage in front of a crowd. And I think it was a little easier because I knew that if they had already told me that if I did anything like messed up, that we would have the opportunity to re-record it. So you don't have a lot of that freedom when you're performing, say, at the Opry. Like I don't get to go back and dub over if my voice cracks or if I forget a line or something. You don't get to do that. That's show business. But yeah, those are some of my earliest memories singing in church. And my parents definitely. They didn't really push me to do it at all. It was just something that, growing up in the BRELAND household, you sing, and how far you choose to take it is on you. I think, everyone in my family is very talented, but for me to be doing what it is that I do now, definitely don't take it for granted that the environment that I grew up in plays a big part in that.
Who was your first connection to songwriter? Was it Dirks? Because you and Dirks and Hardy, obviously, Beers on Me was a number one for you.
Yeah, I probably not Dirks, but I was writing a lot in the R&B hip hop world initially, and then I'd say on the country side, the first person that I connected with was Gary LaVox back in 2019.
Rascal Flatts.
From Rascal Flatts, and this was before I was even doing anything in the country space. He just discovered me, some covers that I was doing, and was like, man, you got such a great voice. Like, you got to come to Nashville sometime. And I was like, man, I've been wanting to do that. And so when I eventually did kind of make that jump into the genre, he was one of the first people that I hit up. So I would say he gets to claim first person to message me, but Dirks is definitely pretty early in that journey from when I did come to town.
Yeah.
It's interesting for those who may have just caught it. They might think, did he just speak of himself in the third person, the BRELAND household? And BRELAND is actually your last name, not your first name.
Yes,
and I don't know if a lot of people actually ever put that two together.
Yeah, some people don't know that, and it's funny because I'll introduce myself as BRELAND to people, just because I go by it professionally. Yeah. And, they'll be like, well, what's your last name? And then I'm like, BRELAND. And then they're like,
Breland.
I'm like, no.
Then it becomes a Henry Cho routine.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Abbott and Costello, all of that.
Well, we're going to feature a couple of things this morning from the most recent EP, Project 2024. We're going to lead out with What You've Been Through. Give us a setup to that, please.
What You've Been Through is a very celebratory song. I think that there are a lot of people, especially women out there. I think about, a lot of the women in my life, my family members and friends. They go through a lot and often don't get their flowers, and you don't necessarily know what it is that they're going through because, they put on a brave face and, they get dressed up, they look great, but there's some real warriors out there under some designer clothes or, a big smile. And so I wanted to be able to kind of acknowledge some of those people and whatever struggles they may be going through.
Breland is all over the world right now on WSM Radio and Circle Country TV.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
And this is Breland from the Assembly Food Hall stage. Our special guest this morning. He's headed to the Grand Ole Opry tonight. Why don't you run your full lineup, Charlie? Breland is on there for what we think is the 10th time.
Oh, we're going to have a lot of fun. Opry stars Daly and Vincent will be there. Stephen Curtis Chapman, still our newest member until we induct Steve Earle in September. And the special guests include Breland, who's here with us this morning, Michael Ray, who's coming in the 9 o'clock hour, the Cody Norris Show, Morgan Wade, Connor Smith, and one of my favorite comedians, funny man, Killer Bees, will be at the Opry tonight.
So did you go to Georgetown because you thought you could play basketball?
You know what? I was always a big basketball fan and thought there might be some sort of future, but I'm 5'8", so it wasn't looking too good for me.
Well, I'm a Providence native, and you guys stole our basketball coach a couple of years ago at Cooley. So
absolutely.
You were better this year. It's been bad for a while.
It's been honestly, even since I was there, which is, I started 12 years ago, we've been to the tournament one time.
Yeah, you still
twice,
think John Thompson with the towel, but that's like a lifetime ago.
30 years ago now.
If there is a Patrick Ewing in that area that would like enroll in Georgetown.
I'm out here recruiting. That's really why.
Those were the glory days, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we were talking off there a little bit. You are the host and creator of an event I think a lot of people look forward to now every year.
Yeah.
Just a few weeks ago, back in April, it was the 4th annual Breland and Friends. Now, I did not go this year, but I went to the 3rd annual one. And what I didn't realize, I think you've come in every year to chat about it.
Yeah.
I don't think I realized, I knew the purpose of it, and it benefits some great charities, and we can talk about that.
Sure.
And I knew you have a great lineup every year. But I thought you just came out, did a few songs, and then brought people out. And I didn't realize how interactive you were with every artist on the show. And I'm like, wow, the preparation for this thing must be crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah, we have 4 years of doing it now, which has been such a blessing. We've raised $500,000 for the Oasis Center, which is a nonprofit here in town that I've been working with for a few years. And, we try to bring out different artists every year and have a couple surprise guests. We had Maddie and Tay come out as a surprise guest this year. We had Vince Gill, Russell Dickerson, who I saw you guys playing a little earlier. Jordan Davis came out. Just some incredible talent. I had a gospel artist that I'm a really big fan of named Jonathan McReynolds. He really brought the house down. But I'm singing on all of these songs. So, and we're singing a lot of, we perform a lot of the other artists' songs.
What'd you sing with Vince?
With Vince, we did Don't Let Your Love Go Slipping Away.
Yeah, start slipping away.
Yeah. Don't let your love start slipping away. But Vince was such a pro because he didn't, this is no disrespect, this is all respect to Vince. He didn't come to dress rehearsal and he didn't come to sound check. So we had not run the song with him. And I'm like, what's going to happen? We're going through the show. I'm like, is he even going to be here? And so he shows up. He's there in a hoodie. He comes out on the rhyming stage and he's so chill. And he performs, starts giving out solos to some of the guitarists on stage and, thanked everybody and got off sounded fantastic at 68, 69 years old and was gone. And I was like, I texted him later and was like, I don't know what just happened, but that was incredible. And it's just the level of professionalism that you have to be able to step onto a stage with a band that you've never played with before and crush it. And there were no concerns. I'm like, okay, yeah, Vince is one of the greatest.
Almost like Chuck Berry scary back in the day. You know, Chuck would play with a different band every city and just show up and like, here we go.
Yeah.
Follow me.
Yeah. and you know what? That is old school musicianship right there at its finest. And he put on a master class. But yeah, it's such a fun show.
Yeah. But it's for such a great cause.
And
too.
for a great cause.
Yeah.
You know, for me to be able to kind of use my voice and my platform for something that benefits people in need, especially young people, that's something that means a lot to me. And I've been really fortunate that there have been so many great artists that are down to be a part of it without, really, I'm not paying anybody, or it's not like any of these artists need the visibility or the notoriety. They appreciate the cause, and we've got great friendships. So it's been a lot of fun.
You know, James Brown played with a lot of different bands because he would fire them, the entire band on a regular basis.
There was something else going on at that time.
So let's talk, as it relates to sports, you talk about your love for basketball.
Yeah.
Wrestling is in your life. And did you do the Daytona 500 national anthem a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I did the Daytona 500, and then they did a documentary on Netflix about the Thunderbirds. And there was a whole scene with the Thunderbirds doing a flyover during my Daytona 500 anthem, which I knew was happening because they're like, oh, yeah, the Thunderbirds are coming over. But I didn't realize that there was a whole doc. And so then I'm getting tagged on Instagram and on social media. People are like, hey, Breland, you're in this Thunderbirds doc. And I'm like, why? And then I watched it and was like, oh, okay, yeah. So, this weekend I'll be doing God Bless America at WWE Super Slam.
Oh, man.
And Tiger Lily Gold will be singing the anthem for that. So country music will be very well represented up at MetLife Stadium this weekend.
I have a quote here from you. This has been a couple of years ago. You said, I'm making the musical equivalent of chicken and rice right now. Country's often used to making chicken and rice with one seasoning. Instead, I'm sampling the whole cabinet of flavors.
I can't believe I said that. But
and you said, ears are like Pilates to me, and I'm serving familiar dishes in ways that people haven't experienced before.
Well then, I mean, it's a good quote.
Who knew? Part-time philosopher, too.
I don't know what I was doing at the time that I said that, but give me some of that. You know?
Well, and in a nutshell, though, that is the beauty of an Opry performance. Because when you're on the road, people buy a ticket. They know they're buying a ticket to see you.
Absolutely.
You know, tonight they're buying a ticket to see the show, and they're seeing a bunch of different people. So there may be some people guaranteed seeing you for the first time. And
Absolutely.
I love how 12, 13 minutes later, you have won them over. It's got to be a cool feeling.
It is a good feeling. We have a lot of fun on stage, and I think that the Opry House Band enjoys playing my songs because they are a little different, you know.
Yeah, man.
And we've done a lot of different flavors, if you will, on that stage, and I think that's the beautiful thing about country music right now. And even just on the lineup tonight, everyone brings their own flavor. You know, I know Morgan Wade has her own vibe. Connor Smith has his own vibe. I've got my own vibe. You've got, comedians. But that's what makes the Opry so special. You're absolutely right.
Well, if Praise the Lord doesn't get you up on your feet and make you feel better than when you came in, there's no hope for you. You know. So.
That's funny.
That's Daniel Gerard Breland. Did I get it right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. And Breland tonight at the Opry. Set up Same Work, which features War and Treaty.
Yeah. This is a song that's based on a true story. You know, you always want these songs to be based on true stories, but sometimes you just have a great title and you write a song kind of in reverse. But, I was playing CMA Fest a couple years ago and had this amazing interaction with a veteran who was telling me that, telling me a bit about his career and where he's toured, and he was like, hey, now I'm just a freelance nurse, and I do all of my work pro bono, and I just try to heal veterans in the Memphis area. That's what I do.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, man, like, thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for everything that you do. And he was like, you and me do the same work. And I was like, we don't, I promise you, like, I get what you're trying to say here. We don't. He was like, no, we do the same work. If at the center of your work is wanting to heal people, then we do the same work. If love is at the center of what you do, we do the same work. And I was like, wow, it just, floored me. And so I ended up writing this song with Tenille Townes, and then getting the War and Treaty, Michael and Tanya, on it, because I was like, look, I don't want people to think that I'm asserting this as my philosophy, though it did move me. This is literally just what someone said to me. And obviously Michael has served, and he's a good friend of mine. And so I just played it for him and was like, what do you guys think of this song? And he was like, I think that's beautiful, and that's a message that I definitely would stamp. And so getting them on it was awesome, and I'm excited. We'll be doing a little run in literally next week for a couple weeks out in Eastern Europe, performing on some of the U.S. military bases in Georgia.
You said Macedonia?
Yeah, Macedonia, Georgia, Albania, Kosovo, Bulgaria, places that I wouldn't go otherwise.
Wow, I mean, truly an ancient part of the world. We're
yeah,
talking about
so much history.
Where the Bible stories come from.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to go and to be able to play for the troops. Obviously, they sacrifice so much on a daily basis for us to have a lot of the freedoms that we have. So this song comes from that place, and getting the Warren Treaty on it was really special.
Thanks for sharing it with the world this morning on WSM.
Thank you, guys.
Circle Country Television, circlecountry.com. BRELAND. Classic New York-style cheesecake, chocolate cheesecake, almond cheesecake, pumpkin cheesecake bars. Interested in any of those?
All, yes. I have to up my cardio steps a little bit if I go for that diet.
From ricotta-based cheesecakes in Italy to quark cheesecakes in Germany.
I'm not familiar with the
And I looked up quark. Quark is made from soured milk that is firm and creamy, has a mild taste, high in protein and calcium.
Wow.
So
right.
That's the way the Germans roll. I'm surprised they don't pickle it. It's a big tradition in German households. Good morning to Martin Fisher.
Schnitzel cheesecake, right? Yes.
But it's got an incredible history that goes back to Greece. That's where we originally got. Where was it? It was translated Plaukas or something like that was what it was originally called. And I love cheesecake, but I like it plain. For the most part, do you like toppings or fruit?
Oh, I don't mind. I'll eat almost anything. I've had like a vanilla bean one at Cheesecake Factory that's really good. I don't mind a little, strawberry puree along with it too. I'm pretty open-minded on the cheesecake. But this one was great. It was at a restaurant called Peppolino's in Greenwich Village. Recommended by my buddy Jason Glass, who said, "Man, if you're in New York, this is the best Italian food we've ever had. This is the place." And it was phenomenal. And you could tell everything. It was one of those places where it wasn't big. It was in an old house. And everything just felt homemade. And the best part was Renee does not like ricotta, so the entire dessert was mine.
Boy, that's an only child's dream, isn't it?
It is. Only order things I'm the only one who likes. Yes.
Plakos, Plakous, from the Greek, the name for cheesecake, which means flat mass.
All right.
Which, when you look at a cheesecake, that's really what it is.
Right. Yeah. I floss every day to get the Plakos off. That was bad. That was bad. I know.
How about Ryman Haunted History? Anybody?
Oh, this is so cool. Yeah.
Back this summer, you've got the opportunity to explore the darker side of the Ryman's storied past. Tickets are available. Final night of the tour is this Friday the 1st, 6 to 8 o'clock. And you'll learn the untold story. You said you've been in the attic, but never underneath.
No, never underneath the stage. I didn't know there was an underneath till just a few years ago.
You'll get that the story, the stories behind the numerous sightings and occurrences that have been reported in the 133-year history of the Ryman Auditorium. Immersive tours offering you as a guest a rare opportunity to not only stand on one of Nashville's most iconic stages, but you get to venture underneath, too. And that's Ryman.com. The haunted tour.
And that's Friday. There are a few spots still available for Friday.
Yep.
And it's at night, which makes it even better.
Yeah. Haunted history. Haunted history. Reba is back on The Voice. She'll be alongside coaches Niall Horan, Snoop Dogg, and Michael Bublé. They actually did a promo for Instagram this week. The 4 artists revealed for the upcoming, goodness gracious, 28 seasons. I think going to be at 30 before you know it. Starts in September. September 22nd is the premiere of season 28. And she says her goal is to inspire and encourage rather than tear down, adding that artists, and I'm quoting her, get enough of that out there in the real world, end quote. Yes, you do.
Even when it's going well, it's like, well, what else you got for me? What else you got?
Yeah, somebody's got an opinion, right? Gabby Barrett, she's sharing the release date for her next single. All over her socials have it. And the actual song she confirmed is called The Easy Part. It's coming out on Friday, which is August 1st, and dropping hints about the next chapter of her career for months now. And she shared sneak peeks of first verse, chorus, and that sort of thing. Gabby Barrett, there's the new one. John Michael Montgomery, he says, there will be no new ones. I am retiring, at least from the road. John Michael Montgomery putting together a farewell show. It's going to be at Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. You got time to make plans. December the 12th. He said he stepped on the tour bus for the first time in 1992 and is getting ready to step off for the last time in 2025 at Rupp. Bringing it all back home, he says. It's going to be a true family affair. His brother Eddie will be there. Eddie was the drummer in the early days in the family band. And then, of course, Walker, his son, who's pursuing his career here. And then son-in-law Travis Denning. And probably, we were talking earlier, from the Slaubaugh sisters, Kristen?
Krista or Kendra? Krista, yes.
Krista, yes. They're engaged.
Tiger Lily Gold.
Yeah, they're engaged. I wouldn't be surprised to see her show up, too. She and Walker are engaged. And tickets for that show go on sale this Friday, August 1st, for John Michael Montgomery. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I'm not getting back on that bus. There's not enough. You could stack the Opry house full of $100 bills. I'm not getting back on that bus.